It's Doom here from Dungeons and Doom Biscuit, and we've made two sets of scatter terrain for the library, and now we're going to paint them. Well, we didn't make two sets, we did two videos. We did one with like a bench so they could read at, one with a desk, and one with this bookshelf. And again, like I said, I'm going to make more bookshelves. This was just a quick kind of deal. So what we want to do now is we want to get a paintbrush, a makeup brush, something like this. It's kind of big and soft. It's got a lot of bristles, a lot of coverage. We want to get some on our cardboard, and we want to get it all over the brush so it's covering everywhere. And we want to kind of lighten stuff up. Might need a little extra. I didn't get quite enough. No problemo. And it doesn't have to be perfect. You could go underneath and paint the bottoms of these if you really wanted to. I'm not feeling inclined to do so. Oh, had to glue that back on. That was my candle. All right. So once we got that all lit up and lightened as much as we want, you can hit those a couple times if you want. I'm just trying to get rid of some excess paint. The next thing I want to do is I want to hit these with the air gun, but I'm going to glue that bad boy back on. I'm just going to get a dab of glue under there. Let's stick it right back where it was, in theory. Okay. I'm going to hit these with the air gun. +5 hot air gun of burning. I'm going to use my same brush. I'm going to mix a little bit of light to medium gray in there. This is called Elephant. I'm using that same brush. I have not washed it out. And once I have that good and mixed in there, and I've created a gross grayish brown tan color, I'm going to get a lot of that off. And I'm going to, oh shit, I knocked that damn thing off again. I'm just going to hit everything with that and make it look a little weathered and used. And I'm going to super glue that on next time. Oop. In the back of the bookshelf, I guess, doesn't matter, but something like this will do good. And I'm not going to lighten these up any more than that. I'm going to get rid of that paint. I'm going to get my little thingy here, and I'm going to super glue that down because I am tired of that moving. And we'll let that sit. So These are pretty much done unless you want to paint the bottom. I'm setting those off to the side. They're going to go clear coat after a couple hours when they're dry. You could scrape that glue off the bottom. I'm leaving it. And what I want to do with this piece, I'm going to get a small brush and some metal and a metallic. This is brushed dark gray, which is just, you know, I'm just going to throw a quick imperfect bit of metal on there. Now, I'm going to get something sharp. I'm going to make some little nail holes in that. You don't have to. It probably doesn't add much to the piece. Okay. I don't think we have anything else metal going on besides this candlestick, which is going to be brass colored. This color is called Royal Gold. I'm going to get a little bit of that. I'm going to mix that in here. Well, that is like dried up. I'm going to paint my candlestick holder with that. If you get a little bit on the candle, that's okay. Now, something about using craft paint to do this stuff, I don't like to use miniature paint on terrain or scatter if I can help it. But I will say, you do not get good coverage from some of these metallics from the craft paint. You just don't. And that's okay. It's not a big deal. It's not the end of the world. I'm going to get a red color, reddish brown. It's called Chocolate Bar. That's not it. There it is. And I'm going to do the book. The leather of the book, the cover, with this. And I'm just going to come along here, and I'm not doing a perfect job. I'm just roughly dragging it along here to show that this is a different color. If your brush is a little wet, it even makes it a little easier. So now it's a little bit of a different color. I'm going to take that same color, though. I'm going to paint some of the spines of these books, or whatever you call this, the end piece of the books. Okay, and I'm just going to pick a few of these and paint them. I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to get a lighter color of this is called chestnut. I'm going to do some more of these book covers with that. I didn't wash out my brush. I'm not overly worried about it. And I'm just going to go through my repertoire of browns here and do book covers. See, this one's a nice darker, rich brown. That's actually two books, but I kind of made it one. That's okay. This is a coffee latte. It's a folk art. I don't use this one too much. I don't think I like it. I'm just going to use that same color while I have it out to lighten up this book some. Put that away. I'm going to get a dark blue. Something hopefully a little damp. Yeah, it's a little bit damp. I'm going to mix that in there. I'm going to do this big book cover with that for sure. I sure do like blue. I'm going to hit a couple other little book covers while I'm at it. With that dark blue. It's not super dark, but it's darkish. I'm going to do the same thing with a darker red. My brush is a little damp for this, just so I can desaturate that red a little bit. Need more water. Just to desaturate that red some. I'm going to hit both of those books accidentally. Okay. And let's do one in a green. Maybe two. One or two in a green. My brush is pretty wet. I'm going to get in there and do that green. Is there another one I could hit? Yeah, I could hit that one right there. Look at that. Okay, and that one back there against the corner. Slightly touch it. All right, we got a couple yet things to do here, fellers, ladies and gentlemen. We have that potion, that candlestick up there, and that skull. So for that skull, we're just going to get a cheapy plastic brush, something like that, and our cardboard. We're going to wipe a lot of that off. We're going to try to do a lot of our skull lightening up, trying to avoid hitting books in the shelf. Okay. I'm going to hit that potion with that a little bit too, or base, or whatever that is. Just lightly lighten that up. All right, then I'm going to come to my book with this same khaki. I'm going to lighten that up too. But what I'm doing is, this is not perfect coats. I'm missing stuff, and I'm dragging it along the edges so they look whiter. Okay. Now, the candles, oops, are going to get that same color. Go ahead and hit the wicks too. My wick is a little bit long on this one, so I'm just going to lop that off. I'm going to do this candle up here with it. This candle doesn't have a wick anymore, but that's okay. All right. So, hot air gun. Only on these two pieces right now. Okay. So on this, we want to get kind of a bigger brush, and what this is called antique white. We're going to get our cardboard. We're going to wipe that all through the bristles. We're going to take a lot of that off. And the first thing we're going to do is come around the edges and hit those first. Okay. And then whatever's left, we're going to lightly drag across the pages like that. Okay. We're going to touch the candle just a little bit with that too. We don't want to go overboard. Okay. We're going to hit that skull a little bit too. But again, we don't want to go overboard. We just want it to look like a skull. And we can get rid of that brush. And we got to figure out what we're doing with that pill bottle and that fancy candle holder up there. So for the potion bottle, I'm going to get a dark red. I'm going to cover that up. And I'm only really worried about the front. Okay. I'm not going to try to go in all in the back and everything, you know. And for that fancy candle holder, I have this metallic blue I never get to use. Let's try it out. I get to use it. That's a lie. I don't get to use it as much as I love the color. But I get to use it. Okay. We're not going for perfect coverage here. Okay. This is going to be obnoxious compared to the rest of your set pieces for this. If you do it this way, for sure. My cousins that just turned 18 are complete and polar opposites. They're twins. But I'll tell you what, for as opposite as they are, she's an introvert, he's an extrovert, all that. I mean, they're both very intelligent. They're both super good looking, seriously. Like it's not me just saying it because they're my family. They really are. But they're just complete opposites. And he does not make plans in his life, like with his friends and stuff, without including her. They are so considerate of each other. I am so proud of both of them. They are just amazing. Okay, so sometimes books have little like straps on them, right? You know what I'm talking about. Those little straps that go across the backside. And now I'm just being silly. We don't have to do any more work. We're done. I'm just being silly now. This is absolutely not needed by any measure. That does not make anything any better. But I'm going to hit the lid of my potion bottle back there. And one last little thing, I guess. I'm going to get a brighter red on that potion bottle. I'm just going to do half of that like that. And hit the top part too. All right. These all need a thorough drying. I would give it a couple hours before I clear coated them. I'm probably not going to clear coat them until I do the rest of my bookshelves, which I'm not going to force you guys to watch that. But there's one last step. Get your pavement, my favorite color in the whole world. Get some water. Get some pavement. Okay. And then get it on the top of your candles. Get it real wet though. And let it kind of drip down. Okay. Play with this till you get them how you want. And get that really, really, really wet gray. Drag that back into that crack. And if you want writing, you can get a small paintbrush and write. I recommend getting a marker. I have some very fine felt tip markers upstairs that I usually use for this kind of stuff. But since we're not up there, let me see what I have. I have pens. I've never tried it with a pen. But that works fine. Never tried it with a pen, but it did work out. All right, so anyways, here's some easy scatter that is fun to do. I had fun doing it anyways, and you can do it for relatively inexpensive. These blocks are, $1.25 for a bunch of them. You see if I have a whole box. Yeah, look here. They look something like that. They come in a box, and they're just, you can use these for a ton of shit. I make walls out of them and everything. They're great. I love them. So this is just some little pieces of foam and stuff, and some beads. Super easy to do. I would personally darken these up, and to do that, I'm just going to do a strong tone on a piece of cardboard. Because those are just so vibrantly silver, that's unnecessary. I'm just going to tone that down a little bit real quick. Okay. Only because they're obnoxious. Okay. I might as well hit this candlestick too. And create some continuity with that. And we'll do this up here. Dial that back a notch. All right, cool. So if you like what I'm doing here on the channel, please like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell icon, leave a comment. Check out our website, www.dungeonswag.com. Buy some miniatures. And check out our Discord. There's links to all that kind of stuff in the description. If you are interested in buying the miniatures on the website, if you get the monthly box, for the first month, you can get 25% off your order by using my discount code BISCUITS. That's going to be in the description as well. Now, I'm not sponsored by Dungeon Swag. I don't want to give that impression. I am half of Dungeon Swag. Like, it's just two guys in our garages and basements trying to make a business. And we are not a big corporation or anything, so keep that in mind when you're buying minis, that we are just regular dudes. Hey, thanks for watching.